Fallen Order takes some of my favorite things from my favorite games and carefully places them in my favorite universe, which is Star Wars. It's got the 3D map from Metroid Prime that looks like if AutoCAD designed building plans showed breakable walls and health upgrades. It's got the combat from God of War or other similarly visceral action games, just with lightsabers cauterizing decapitated limbs. It's got the dungeons from 3D Zelda games with lengthy, inventive puzzle sequences and mini-boss fights. It's got the bonfires from Soulsborne games, complete with the retrieval system in place when some nasty enemy murders you. It's got the traversal from Uncharted and Tomb Raider, complete with huge walls to scale, ropes to swing on, and icy tunnels to slide through. It's got skill trees, shortcuts to unlock, unlockable character and droid skins, lightsaber parts to collect, and it's a third-person action-adventure video game through and through, with a refreshing canonical story to boot. That's not to say that Fallen Order is just relying on other games to stand on its own, however, only that it kit bashes and combines some excellent systems that work really well elsewhere and connects them cohesively inside something that is sorely needed in 2019, a legit single-player Star Wars game. Fallen Order takes all of those things and gives them a Star Wars spin, letting you go wild in massive, sprawling, intricately woven environments rife with secrets, collectibles, unlockable shortcuts, branching paths, and dangerous enemies. I was consistently impressed with the way Fallen Order doled out new mechanics, new combat techniques, and new lore to scan and ingrain. Every new area was a little more interesting than I anticipated, every combat scenario just a little more intense than I thought. This is a much bigger game than I thought it would be in nearly every regard, and I'm thoroughly impressed. The consistent theme I had running through my head in my 3 hours spent playing Fallen Order was, wow, there is way more here than I thought there would be. What I found was a game that consistently impressed me with how deep it could be. The various worlds in the game can be visited and subsequently tackled in whatever order the player chooses. Combat can scale to the player's need for difficulty on the fly, players can opt to stick to the main path or explore hidden tunnels, craggy walkways, and entire secret areas should they choose to. Exploring can reward crafty players with things like skill points, found in crates in the world or farmed through combat, or cosmetic unlocks for your valiant Jedi and droid duo. Fallen Order isn't a linear game, and it isn't an open world game. It's in that recently popular genre of open-ish games that we don't really have a word for. When I booted up God of War, I was presented with a subtle personal choice early on. Should I beeline to the main story, or go off the beaten path and really explore everything in this world? After my very first optional treasure chest was discovered, I obviously chose the latter and was rewarded with a rich world of wonderful side quests and hidden paths and collectibles. Minutes into Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, I knew I'd once again be facing the same choice here, and once again, I knew exactly what decision I would make. Fallen Order is wondrously fun, challenging, and densely packed so far, and there's tons to do and see if that's what you're looking for. Lots of people love Star Wars because of the epic space battles where screaming, hyper-angular ships dogfight to victory while a seemingly endless barrage of asteroids soar by. Others love Star Wars for its boots-on-the-ground sci-fi spin on soldier combat where helmeted troopers dodging blaster fire and explosives battle to the death for the freedom or oppression of the galaxy. Those things are great, of course, but they don't lend themselves to a third-person action game as well as they do for something like Battlefront, per se. For me, I like the parts of Star Wars where the fog clears and mysterious harps and oboes flutter through the speakers to reveal a strange planet teeming with bizarre flora and unusual wildlife, where otherworldly monsters tucked in the shadows of gnarled plant life meets powerful Jedis donning tattered robes. I like when Star Wars gets weird and alien. Fallen Order seems to understand that Star Wars is more than just intergalactic Saving Private Ryan with sword fights or Top Gun in space. Star Wars is about mystery and discovery, about ancient religions, magical superpowers, and exotic worlds. I found that in spades while exploring this game. There are marshy planets to dock your ship on where you can step outside in the sun, swing your saber around while burrowing aliens pop in and out of sinkholes like scruffy meerkats. I plundered the depths of secret tombs, battled toothy tunnel rats, and buff mountain goat-like creatures, plus the occasional large, gross-looking four-armed mini-boss alien charging towards me. Then I decapitated him with my mighty lightsaber and had my droid scan his arms so I could read up on his lore later on in my databank. You know, weird-ass Star Wars stuff. I can't wait to see where else this game goes as my ragtag group of rebels continues to hop from planet to planet across the galaxy. Poking around my cruise ship, I noticed a few interesting side quests that I already can't wait to dig into. I'm excited to see if I'll get to visit any grimy dive bars in the criminal underbelly of the galaxy, or if I'll get to fight some big menacing monsters from the films like a Wampa or a Rancor, or just how many massive Zelda-style temples await for me. It seems like there's going to be tons of stuff to do here, but I'm mostly just excited to explore it all at my own pace and to get lost in this big, dangerous world. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order went from being a game that I was cautiously optimistic about to a game I know I'm going to play to 100% completion, and likely one that I'll be cheering for when those heated Game of the Year debates start popping up in a few months. I'm really hoping the full game is as deeply rewarding and fun as the chunk I played so far, and we'll know for sure when the full game releases on November 15th. But for now, there's hope. For more Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, check out this conversation I did with my good friend Ryan McCaffrey here at IGN after playing a few hours. And for all things Star Wars and video games, stick with IGN.
Get over here! We're not done!